Hey there everyone, I've got a little bit of a later start this morning, but we are here doing the lessons of A Course in Miracles. Today we're doing lesson number 241, and before we get into that, we're going to have a little teaching on what is the world, so get ready for that. It's just going to really, I think, wrap up nicely all the previous lessons that we've had recently in this part of the 200s, and just kind of like drive home some of the salient points as we move forward into the next grouping of lessons. So I'm super excited about this teaching. I want to let you know that we made it most of the way across Oregon last night. We are at an RV park on the side of the road here. The sign says Burns RV Park, so you can look it up, see where I'm at. We are heading to Salem today, so we're only a few hours away. And from there, tomorrow we're going to drive up to Seattle, the Seattle area, and we are basically moving his son to Salem, but we're going to drop off all the stuff in the U-Haul in Salem and then drive up to Seattle to go visit with another one of my boyfriend's children who is deploying. She's in the Navy and she's leaving soon, so we're going to go visit with her for a little while. And then in September, one of his other daughters is graduating from Marine Corps basic training, so we're going to be flying to Camp Lejeune and flying back to the Seattle area. So our dance card is full, everybody. Okay, so let's jump into these teachings and keep moving forward together. Thank you all so much for being a part of this journey with me, for participating in discussions and all of it. It's really, really wonderful to know that we're doing this work together. All right, so what is the world? The world is false perception. It is born of error and it has not left its source. It will remain no longer than the thought that gave it birth is cherished. When the thought of separation has been changed to one of true forgiveness, will the world be seen in quite another light, and one which leads to truth, where all the world must disappear and all its errors vanish. Now its source has gone and its effects are gone as well, which just reminded me is that book, the Gary Renard book, The Disappearance of the Universe. Yeah, the world must disappear and all its errors vanish. Okay, the world was made as an attack on God. It symbolizes fear. And what is fear except love's absence? Thus the world has meant to be a place where God could not enter and where his son could be apart from him. Here was perception born, for knowledge could not cause such insane thoughts, but eyes deceive and ears hear falsely. Now mistakes become quite possible, for certainty has gone. The mechanisms of illusion have been born instead, and now they go to find what has been given them to seek. Their aim is to fulfill the purpose which the world was made to witness and make real. They see in its illusions but a solid base where truth exists, upheld apart from lies. Yet everything that they report is but illusion, which is kept apart from truth. Okay, that gets a little bit complicated. Maybe we need to go through that again, but I'm not going to reread it. But it's the mechanisms of illusion have been born instead. So that's what we get tricked into, and that's our indoctrination path and our being sort of led to believe in the illusion. As sight was made to lead away from truth, it can be redirected. Thank goodness. Sounds become the call for God, and all perception can be given a new purpose by the one whom God appointed Savior to the world. That would be us. Follow his light and see the world as he beholds it. Hear his voice alone in all that speaks to you, and let him give you peace and certainty, which you have thrown away, but heaven has preserved for you in him. Let us not rest content until the world has joined our changed perception. Let us not be satisfied until forgiveness has been made complete. And let us not attempt to change our function. We must save the world. For we who made it must behold it through the eyes of Christ, that what was made to die can be restored to everlasting life. So there you go. It's another day, another opportunity to wake up yourself about this whole world being an illusion. Lesson 241. This holy instant is salvation come. What joy there is today. It is a time of special celebration, for today holds out the instant to the darkened world where its release is set. The glory of salvation dawns today upon a world set free. This is the time of hope for countless millions. They will be united now as you forgive them all. For I will be given for you today. For I will be forgiven by you today. Oh, I messed that up. Let's read that one more time. For I will be forgiven by you today. This holy instant is salvation come. All right, here's our prayer for this lesson. We have forgiven one another now, so we come at last to you again. Father, your Son, who never left, returns to heaven and his home. How glad are we to have our sanity restored to us and to remember that we are all one. A little law of one, a little raw energy here. Well, it feels like today is a celebration. And I think reading through this What is the World lesson once or twice, again, like really sums up the most recent lessons we've been reading and starts us off on another firm step forward. This holy instant is salvation come. Today is the new day. Today is the day that we have forgiven. If there's people, places, things, situations that we haven't forgiven, well, freaking doggone it, do that. Don't let today go by without really letting go of some of your resentments and judgments for yourself, for other people, or whatever. Okay, let's see what a year of forgiveness has to say about lesson number 241. This holy instant is salvation come. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. You will notice that these lessons speak as if things have already happened. You are being trained into accepting that these things can happen by envisioning and saying the words that they have already happened. Now, I will tell you, I'm still doing the 40 days and 40 nights with Jesus, and envisioning is coming up now about how powerful our creative minds are, and that if we really concentrate and visualize the outcomes that we want, the kind of world that we want, the situations that we want, it has this ability to shift and change things as we move forward into our lives. Hello, B. So, yeah, I think that we really need to practice envisioning as much as possible. That's in a meditative state, or even just closing your eyes and quickly imagining something differently. It's going to make things different in our lives too. Many of you have completely misinterpreted how creation works. You think that when you see something you don't like and judge and hate it, it will go away. It will not go away. It is going to become strengthened by your attention. When what you focus on increases. It is that simple. It does not matter whether you focus on it by using the words, I don't want you here, I don't like you, you are upsetting me. It does not matter. That which you give attention to expands and increases and strengthens. When you say words such as salvation has come, your body-mind reacts as if it's true. You have stepped back from judgment, stepped back from resistance to what is. By saying these words, you have cast a most beautiful spell. Oh, that's dangerous, Jesus, to say stuff like that. That you are at peace and everything is fine. Your body-mind will react as if that's true. And the more often you say this, and the more you come to believe it and feel it in your body-mind, the more likely it will come into being. So that's another trick that we're never really taught, that if we envision these things, man, the shadowy, if we envision what we want and stop harping on what we don't want, what we don't like, complaining is a huge one that I think was a lesson I learned a long time ago. Don't complain. I didn't realize it was because I was trying to train my mind away from continuing to experience the things I was complaining about, but it makes sense that there was some wisdom underneath why I was so adamant about not complaining. So yeah, this is a great teaching, everyone. Do not look at the things falling apart, the devastation, the cruelty, and the death. But that is what you all look at. All of us 3D humans in this fake world. Do not look at that. Look at the beauty, the peace, the joy, and the love. Yes, people will say you are looking at the world through rose-colored glasses, and you say, it's okay. I know how creation works. I know that the more gratitude I have, the more love I have, the more appreciation I have, the more peace I have, the better the world will be. And that is an excellent comeback, because people will often say things to me like, oh, you know, Course in Miracles students are so love and light, and they're way too up in their, you know, celestial realms, and they never do their dirty work or do their shadow work, which is complete bullshit. We do our work, and we do it with more love, more forgiveness, more peace, and it's making the world a better place. So when people give you a bunch of shit about what are you doing, you're too airy-fairy or whatever, that's what you say. I know how, say it with confidence, because it's true. I know how creation works. I know that the more gratitude I have, maybe take the furrow out of my brow, right? The more gratitude that I have, the more love that I have, the more appreciation I have, the more peace I have, the better the world will be. And then give that person a hug. Have you noticed that those beings looking at the negativities, devastation, and chaos on your planet are becoming more and more frightened and more agitated? Do you think their frequency is going to add to chaos or to heal it? There is a very logical answer when you pose it in that way. Those kinds of fear, anger, and upset are not going to bring them into being in a world of peace, love, and joy. Those of you practicing forgiveness, on the other hand, are planting seeds of peace, love, and joy every single time you step back from judgment. And in this holy instance, you give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. I am that one you know is Jesus, and we will speak to you again tomorrow. Well, that lesson totally fired me up, you guys. I feel like my energy shifted, and it's more and more reinforcement on how to survive in this illusory world that wants to trick us all the time. It's like, no, I know how creation works. Or with a big smile and a hug. All right, well, it's been great being with you this morning. We are running a little behind than I thought we would be this morning, but you know what? I'm forgiving it all. I'm letting it go. It's just freaking awesome to be in Oregon. What a beautiful place. It smells different here. It reminds me a little bit of Sedona. It's interesting when I came out of the camper this morning. So yeah, we're heading away from Burns, continuing west. We'll be in Salem today, and more adventures to follow. So have a great day, everyone. Keep up the work and forgive today. Love so much. Love you guys so much. I'm like not talking properly. I love you very much. I'm glad you're here, and I'll see you tomorrow.